Three match is a good coverage, man. It's a hybrid of cover three, sky, and cover one. So the reason why teams want to run this type of coverage is because they want to put they want to play 8-man box football versus a 2x2 that's a 7-man box football. But they want to outnumber the offense in the box, okay? And they also want to be able to cover 4 verticals. So I'm just going to quickly go through 4 verticals as I do in every coverage. And the reason why is because that's what this coverage was designed for. Teams that run 3 sky as a primary defense, which I don't think anybody does in the NFL anymore, the weakness was 4 verts, right? So what people did back in the early 2010s was come up with a defense that can basically stop 4 verts. Anytime you get a formation, okay, like 2x2, where there are 4 vertical threats, so that means 1, 2, 3, and 4. So by alignment, there are 4 eligible receivers that are probably most likely going to go vertical. Small chance that the running back is going to go vertical here, but so anybody in the backfield doesn't count. But anytime you have a 4 vertical threat, you turn into a match mode principle with your seam flat players, okay? And I'm going to start with them. So your seam flat players here are your nickel. I'm a nickel defense, all right? And here are your strong safety, okay? These guys are your seam flat players, and they're keying 2 to 3. So if 2 goes vertical, they will take him, okay? And it's pretty easy to tell if he's going vertical from a safety standpoint. Anytime you get that wide release by the tight end and he goes vertically up the field, that's usually a vertical route. That wide release, he's taught to get to probably 2 yards inside the numbers and get vertical. You can tell. So it's pretty easy to know if you're going to match him. And you can match him low hip on the outside because you have safety help in the middle. Same thing with the nickel. Okay, so two vertical, you're good. And we'll go over some of the other combinations of things that he has to do versus other routes. The corners are keying 1 to 2. If 2 goes vertical and 1 goes vertical, basically it's similar to quarters coverage. If 1 goes vertical, you got him. Okay, if 1 wasn't to go vertical, then now you're playing off coverage, you can now key 2 and squeeze on 2. So that's pretty much the same thing as quarters coverage. You just have to know if it was a true third type of formation that you had to play your true third, you have a little bit more ground to cover than in quarters. Free safety is pretty easy. He's playing the post. He's playing between the twos, okay? Now let's go back to the inside guys. All right, the inside guys are hook defenders in this game, okay? So they're hook defenders. Now, the one thing that's different in 3 match is that whoever is the linebacker that's aligned across from number 3, he has to take him if he goes to the flat. Okay, pretty much he has to take him wherever he goes. So if he went out, vertical, or in, you got him. Okay, you can communicate with the opposing linebacker if you know he's going to go to the left right now, which most people don't do. If he swings to the left or if he goes to the line of scrimmage and goes to the left, you can communicate with him. But really, the easiest way to play this is that you got him wherever he goes, and you see how the linebacker's matching him. So if you are the hook player away from number 3, you basically are just playing a normal hook drop. Okay, you could just play zone. You should play eyes on the quarterback and play a normal hook drop, looking to help out in number 2, looking to help out any late checkdowns or any scrambles. All right, so versus that formation versus that route combination is pretty simple, right? So let's just try to go through some other combinations that might be a little bit different. And I'm just going to call plays out of this playbook. Nothing crazy here. Let's just see. So the strength of this defense is to be able to play vertical and also outbreaking routes. So let me get something that's an outbreaking route. And just so you know, I'm not going to cover quick game. I haven't done it at all yet, and I won't do it just yet. But I will do it at some point because there are different rules for quick game. All right, so here I'm just going to have an out route by 2. That's what I really wanted to focus on, and then we can see what else is happening. Oh, look at Tom Brady go. All right, so out route by 2 in the slot. The slot receiver runs an out route. That's what I wanted to take a look at. All right, so the seam flat defender, all right, similar to the quarter flat defender, he needs to play anything outside or vertical. You got him. Okay, so that's his rule. So if 2 runs an out, you match him. If it's an out like this, 5-yard out, you got him. If it's a quick flat route, you got him. Okay. If he runs inside, that's when you can now play curl flat. Okay. You don't have to take him. All right. Now let's take a look over here on this side. So this seam flat defender, he's keying 2 to 3. So basically in this formation, this is his 2. All right. 2, is he going vertical? No. Okay. So unrealistically in real life, you would want this guy to be a little bit closer. But again, one way you can beat that, like I had told you in the beginning, was that what is his release? Anytime you get a release from a tight end that goes vertical like this, straight down the line, straight up the field, most likely he is not running a deep route. That's a little bit of a tip. Okay. Could run a corner, but most of the time tight ends, if they're going to run a vertical route straight down the field, like we just showed in the first one, they're going to get width with their release. Okay, so that's how it starts. So anytime you get a tight end that's just running straight up the field right off the snap, most likely he's going to run something shallow. So if that's the case, you don't have anything that's breaking inside, you can now sit. All right, and like how this safety does, I would sit just to make sure he's not running a corner. All right, but now you become a curl flat defender and you will match 3 to the flat. However, they just screwed that up. So I'm gonna run this play again and see if it was a mess up one time or a mess up 2 times. But this is a 5 to 7 yard route, and he is treating this like a vertical. Don't know why. And as you see, this linebacker is matching 3 to the flat. So they basically decided that for me and how it was going to work out. This one here, this linebacker should be playing just his normal zone, eyes on the quarterback, no work there. All right, let's look at the corners real quick. I don't think there's anything crazy going on. Vertical route, we're going to match. Vertical route, we're going to match. Safety's in the middle. Let's run this again and let's see if there's any exchange with the flat defenders. Nope. So that's the issue. I always have to pick a play that freaking messes up the whole video, right? Let me put, am I on offense? Yes, I am. Let me just put the tight end on a drag. See what happens. Okay. So, 3 to the flat, right? 2 went under, 3 went to the flat. Now, in this defense, unlike quarters coverage, it's not a quick match anymore. Anytime 2 goes in for that safety, it's not a quick match to his new number 2. He can play curl to flat, give a little love to the curl, and then come on down to the flat once the ball is thrown. However, if you are the hook player to the 3 receiver side, as the linebacker is 57, he needs to wall. He needs to take any interior route by number 2, okay, or his new number 3, I would say. So that's a little bit different than maybe what we talked about before, but he needs to take them because there's nobody on the other side who's really left to be responsible for him. Okay, let me look at weak flood. That's actually a pretty good one there. All right, I'm actually going to put the tight end, I'm going to put the running back on a check release to the flat. Now again, that middle linebacker 57, it would make it a lot easier if he took him. Now, you do notice that the other linebacker is taking him, which is not the bare minimum rules, but can work if you do communicate. So now 57 will become just a pure hook dropper. So that's a little bit different. I can live with that if the game wants to play it appropriately. I'm okay with that. But actually, if you look at that route there, I did say that the strong safety, anytime 2 goes under quickly, he will not play true match to the flat. He would just play his normal zone drop. You see how he did that? But here, in most teams, he would need to match this quick route. But again, if there was film study, I would teach my guys to switch this off, let him come down and take it, and now let this linebacker be free and play basically in the middle of the field to help out. This nickel is treating that like a vertical. Remember, anything over 10 yards is a vertical, and you got him and you match him. Okay, let's take a look at one more route. And I'm just picking anything off the top of my list here. But I am looking at some of the issues. Let's look at the Y cross. That should be a good one. All right. So the crossing route by the tight end should be considered a vertical, and in this case, that strong safety should follow him. And of course, that whip route or the pivot route by Goodwin should be taken by the nickel. So you see how that worked out. So basically, you have cover one all throughout the field on these routes because the routes are either vertical or outside. And then you have two inside linebackers because the number 3 did not come out, it did not go to the backfield. He did not come out of the backfield. You basically have two hook defenders to help out on the inside. So that's really one of the strengths of the defense, besides playing 4 verticals, is that if you don't get 4 verticals, you only get 3 verticals or less, you're going to get guys playing zone coverage underneath with some guys playing man, which could confuse an offense. They're not quite sure what you're in, and you can kind of get some natural double teams. All right, so we'll stop that video there for 2x2 versus 3 match. I love this defense. I think it's one of the better defenses in the game. If you are a fan of cover 1, but yet, you want to be able to have extra guys being able to play some sort of cover 3 when needed, and we'll go into that once we get into some other formations, it's a really strong coverage.